Hi guys, we've been talking about how to get organized at the beginning of the school year. We're going to start with just thinking about what your locker is going to look like. So we've been talking about, putting on your future glasses, and imagining, what your locker is going to look like this year, not just today for the first day of school, what it's going to look like in 2 months. What is it going to look like when we go into Christmas? And so as we think about our future glasses, we need to think about organized lockers. What do they have that you need to have that is similar to an organized locker? What do you need to have that's different, that you can have that's different? We've been looking at some organized lockers, and I just want to talk about kind of 3 major organization systems we see for middle schoolers. So you might have a top locker. When you look at a top locker, you need to think about you, how tall you are, where you like to put things. In your top locker, you need a space for things that you use all the time. This is the things that you use for every class. Pencils, your planner, maybe a homework folder, things that you use all the time that you need to take to many classes, maybe your binders and your books. You also kind of need like a closet. You need a place that you store things you don't use all the time. So maybe up here, you're putting your coat, which you only need for lunch, or your lunch even. Stuff you don't need all the time, that you only need maybe once or twice a day, maybe your colored pencils that you only need once a week. Things that you don't need all the time need a place. And really it's up to you about what works for you. What's going to be your high use area, and what are you going to use kind of as your storage for stuff you don't use as frequently. Bottom lockers, again, you have choices with bottom lockers. You can make this your high frequency area, put stuff that you use all the time here. Honestly, being my height, as a student, I probably would have used this as my high frequency area and put my notebooks and stuff that I needed all the time here, and then my lunch and my coat and things I didn't need as much down here. But really it's up to you. If this makes more sense to you as where to put the stuff you need all the time, put it here. Make sure you have a spot for storage for the stuff that you don't need to get. You don't have to be climbing over your coat to get your planner when you're trying to get to social studies. You can just get to social studies. Every year some students tell me, Ms. Kyler, I don't use my locker. I don't use that. I just have this. This is a locker. It's a locker and a binder. I usually call this the black binder of death. And I was a student that had this. The problem with the black binder of death is that there is not a place right now in it for stuff that you're using all the time, and stuff that you use later. You don't need as much stuff that you can store for later. So you need to think about your black binder of death. Where are you going to put stuff that you need to get to still, that you need to study for tasks or notes you need to look back over? Where's that going to go? Where is stuff maybe that you don't need to study for anymore? Units that are done, homework that's been graded that you did really well on, that you don't need to look at anymore. Where's that going to go? Make sure you have regions, some stuff that you're using all the time, and stuff you're not using that much, that you're not using every day, day in and day out. If you just mix it all together, you can't find anything in the black binder of death, So put on those future glasses, think about areas that are high frequency, and where you're going to have storage for low frequency. Thanks, guys.